Most people know Moses as the man who faced Pharaoh, led Israel out of Egypt, and received the Ten Commandments. But behind the great man of God was a woman whose story is almost forgotten. Who was Zipporah? What role did she play in Moses' life and calling? And what can we learn from her quiet but powerful faith? Let's uncover the story of Zipporah, the forgotten wife of Moses. After Moses fled Egypt for killing an Egyptian, he became a stranger in the land of Midian. There, by a well, he met 7 daughters of Jethro, a priest of Midian. When some shepherds tried to drive them away, Moses stood up and defended them. Grateful, Jethro invited Moses into his home. And there, Moses met Zipporah, one of Jethro's daughters. In time, they were married. Moses agreed to stay with the man who gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses in marriage. Zipporah gave birth to a son, and Moses named him Gershom, saying, "I have become a foreigner in a foreign land." For years, they lived peacefully in Midian. Moses was no longer a prince of Egypt. He was a shepherd, a husband, and a father. One day, while tending the flock, Moses encountered God in the burning bush. There, God called him to return to Egypt and free his people. Imagine what that must have meant for Zipporah. Her husband was being sent back to the land he escaped from, to confront the most powerful ruler in the world. Yet Zipporah stood by him. She trusted Moses' calling, even if she didn't fully understand it. Then comes one of the strangest moments in Scripture. Exodus 4:24-26. As Moses was on his way back to Egypt, the Lord met him and sought to put him to death. It was then that Zipporah took a flint knife, circumcised their son, and touched Moses' feet with the blood, saying, "Surely you are a bridegroom of blood to me." The story is brief, mysterious, and shocking, but powerful. What does it mean? It reveals that God required obedience even from his chosen leader. Moses had delayed in circumcising his son, a command given to Abraham's descendants. And it was Zipporah, not Moses, who acted in faith and saved his life. Zipporah became the instrument of God's mercy. Her quick action preserved Moses' life and allowed God's plan of deliverance to continue. After that night, the Bible grows silent about Zipporah. She and her children seem to have returned to Midian, perhaps to stay with her father Jethro while Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt. Later, in Exodus 18, Jethro brings Zipporah and Moses' sons, Gershom and Eleazar, to meet Moses in the wilderness. It's a brief reunion, but we don't hear about her again afterward. Zipporah disappears from the story, quietly, humbly, and without recognition. Yet even in her silence, Zipporah's presence shaped Moses' journey. She was there when Moses was alone, when he was uncertain, when no one else believed in him. She was the bridge between his past in Egypt and his destiny as God's chosen leader. Zipporah reminds us that God often works through quiet faithfulness. Not through fame, not through miracles, but through obedience in hidden moments. Zipporah's story may be short, but her impact is deep. Here are 3 lessons we can learn from her. Faith sometimes means acting when others freeze. Zipporah didn't wait for someone else to move. She took bold action in a moment of danger. Obedience matters, even in small things. Circumcision seemed like a forgotten command, but her obedience preserved the mission. You don't have to be in the spotlight to be part of God's story. Zipporah was never famous, but she was faithful. And sometimes, that's what truly matters in the eyes of God. So, if you ever feel unseen or forgotten, remember Zipporah. Her name may appear only a few times in Scripture, but her faith changed the course of history. In every great mission, there's someone quietly standing behind the scenes, praying, believing, and obeying. You may not be known by the world, but you are seen by God. Lord, help us to be like Zipporah, faithful in silence, obedient in hidden moments, and bold in our faith.